Evolving awareness, the power to change emotions. So where are we heading? A new paradigm of imagined emotional states and the places they can deliver us. And it starts with some simple changes in perspective as to what emotions are. Emotions are the blueprint underlying all matter. They are the language the universe speaks in. We ask for what we want by knowing how it would feel to have it. The circumstances we consciously believe ourselves to be in are a consequence of our dominant emotional state. To place ourselves in new conditions, all we need do is feel differently. So there are two things I want to raise awareness of here. Firstly, that we are in an emotional bubble. Our circumstance is an emotional mirage. We can't see beyond the illusion of our present conditions from within our current emotional state. And secondly, how the seemingly insignificant mild emotional reactions in our day-to-day life are the unknown jailers of our current paradigm. We are unfortunately unconscious to how our reactions cage us. What locks us into habitual emotional patterns are the mild day-to-day annoyances. We unconsciously react without any thought of the consequences of emotion. And these small reactions are the fodder that eventually builds into the out of control and unexpected major emotional events that we would really rather do without. By nipping the small stuff in the bud and more consciously sensing our vibration in the present, we enter an altogether more emotionally empowered and chosen set of circumstances. This is the glory of the age we have been welcomed, that we can consciously elevate our emotional state by the pictures we hold in mind, by our vision for the future, and understanding our circumstance to be a consequence of emotion. By increasing the length of our thought forms, we improve our ability to focus and increase the creative ability of mind. In this age, we understand that no matter what we are surrounded by, we can respond and feel how we please. Perspective is our inner sight, our superpower from beyond this dimension. When we can change how we respond, we change the circumstances we find ourselves. That is the evolved condition of humanity, that we can consciously create emotional states and have realized emotional states to be the building blocks of our reality. So it is in our profound interest to more carefully monitor how we are feeling and know that because of the conditioned model we operate, much of the reasoning that drives emotions comes from a bygone era, a way of life completely foreign to the conditions we are now living in. We must realize for our own mental health how illusory this wall of circumstances we build around us. If we are not consciously creating our emotional state, it is a mirage of the subconscious mind. We have realized this ploy of the emotions, the ability of the subconscious to plant evidence in our environment that preserves our current emotional state. It is our emotions that keep us alive, so for a long time this was the pattern of the human experience. If we were awake to the ruse of the subconscious, emotions wouldn't seem real. They wouldn't have the desired effect. We had to have no idea we were creating the conscious experience behind the scenes. This subconscious preservation of emotions is the essence of the law of attraction that everyone keeps talking about. Emotion is able to keep itself in a holding pattern via perception of our situation. But we are waking up to our ability to create emotional states consciously and know the effect of emotional states. We used to have no idea our circumstances were a subconscious mental construction, that what we know as our present moment is little more than a constructed memory. Where we are heading is inclusive of two significant points: that we can consciously drive our emotions and that our circumstance is built out of our emotions. On realizing our conditions are a construction of our emotional state, we enable ourselves to see beyond the bubble of our subconsciously constructed world. We are more careful with how and what we feel, and make a more concerted effort to drive our emotional state. We consider what we want our future to look like, knowing it is always a construct of the imagination. We are shackled only by what we permit ourselves to imagine, and our unwillingness to focus our energy. We have forgotten or perhaps never realized our mind makes things. We have neglected that the creative muscle is forged by our concentration. We don't understand the value of a focused mind, so we rarely engage or improve our ability. We avoid having to concentrate. We don't realize that we choose with our attention and the power we wield to turn away from anything that disturbs us. It is not ignorance of what is happening, it is a conscious choice that we want to see less of this and more of that in our experience. We operate from within an invisible set of what's possible because our energy and intention is often scattered. We aren't focused. That we are distracted is partially environmental. We don't know how good we can actually feel or exercise our ability to drive emotion when we are unconsciously diverted by all the seemingly random stuff that is happening all around us. The attention grabbers. We are in an environment designed to break our concentration. Our attention is constantly bombarded by distractions. We are surrounded by diversions. We don't realize that it is our focus that enables us to see solutions, to resolve tension. But we don't look for things to concentrate our energy on. We prefer the diversions. But much like our minor emotional reactions, these diversions keep sapping our power, taking away the power we might have had were we to focus the mind on something a little longer. They stop us building the strength and ability of mind gained through a single concerted effort. We keep getting our attention jostled this way and that, so we never have a clear train of thought. Our concentration gets broken, and we are unable to delve into deeper levels of consciousness. We can't nut out larger problems because our attention gets diverted each time we think there is a problem or are close to a solution. Our TV, social media, and the environment in general is designed to break our focus so we stop thinking. We break the length and effectiveness of thought, which incidentally works great if you want to build a race of economic worker ants who aren't able to consider the big picture. But as we become more conscious, we are seeing behind the curtain. We understand that a focused mind is more able to create pictures, calm our nerves, and keep annoyances out of our experience. We are becoming more aware that from inside this paradigm that is constantly eluding us of our conditions, we can't get to a better one. We can't feel better without becoming more conscious of the emotions game, without realizing our circumstances as an inner projection. But as we become more conscious, as we wake to the subconscious agenda to preserve emotion, an entirely new and empowered human condition is emerging. We can consciously choose emotional states by the visions we hold in mind. When we realize that our world is entirely mind and emotion made, we will know our power to make a new one. If you don't like the part you are playing, it is because you have assumed you must play the role others have assigned you, and they can only see you from their level of perception. Agreeing to their opinion of us will never sit well with our inner being, but most unconsciously live their life this way. We succumb to the roles other people expect of us. We are not who we think we are. We are who we think other people think we are. But it doesn't have to be this way. We can choose who we are and how we feel. That is the more conscious paradigm we have been welcomed. The small, seemingly insignificant reactions are your ticket to breaking the shell of the conditioned model and entering an amazing unused portion of the imagination. As simple as this sounds, the effects are profound and develop exponentially to alter our environment. We are realizing a new and more empowered human condition, one that can focus on and create imagined emotional states. And when we realize the effect, we won't just be changing our world, but the whole world. Seize every opportunity to feel how you please, and watch as new ideas and opportunities emerge from the depths of our mind. Watch them come out before your eyes like an image in a 3D picture. Consciously creating emotional states represents an entirely new dimension of life on Earth. If you know the type of person you want to become, now more than ever we can't believe that's possible. Not because of who we are, but because of the informed era in which we live. If we can describe it and we stay focused on it, we will become it. With focus, we can bring any resolution into our lives. Do you want to be happier? Do you want to be more conscious of how you feel and what's making you feel? Consciousness is the universal cure. All illness is a disease of the emotions. Worry, depression, anxiety, stress, you name it. We don't feel the way we want to, and the cure is becoming more obvious. To become more aware of how and what is making us feel. Consciousness is simple stuff, but it's also the universal cure for humankind. We don't need to stand out to know our worth. We only need to still the mind enough to sense our inner dimension. Presence of mind is synonymous with consciousness of mind.